The question is, which do you prefer, the director's cut of a movie or the original theatrical version?
Oh, I think for us, it's going to have to be the director's cut.
Now, I'm going to agree with you in most cases, but sometimes director's cuts of movies can be worse than the original.
I can agree. I think I can think of a few, but I can think of a few good ones too.
So it's not 100% painting with a broad stroke.
No.
It's actually more of a 50-50. That's what we're saying here. Sometimes, but not always.
I think that would be the best bet. Because for something like Zack Snyder's The Justice League, the director's cut of that was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what should have been in cinemas, or something closer to that than what we ended up with the original release. The original release, it was short, it was choppy, it didn't really make much sense. They needed to bulk it out more, but they pared it back too much. Now, we've recently been rewatching Fellowship of the Ring, the extended edition, all 4 hours of it, and I personally adored every second.
I would say that the theatrical cut may actually be better than the extended cut because there are moments in the extended cut which I don't think are actually necessary. There's too much filler, there's too much fluff in that 3 hours and 40 minutes. And the theatrical being about 2 hours 40, 2 hours 50, I think that's probably better served. Maybe there's an in-between where if you could remove some of the stuff from the extended, but keep most of it, then you'd say that's actually a vastly superior product, even to the one that was in theatres. But if I was to choose between the theatrical for Lord of the Rings Fellowship or extended, I think I'm going theatrical.
Right, I would agree with you, but for the 2 towers...
You keep on saying, I want extended, then you're saying, well, no!
Wait, like we said about broad brushes. For the 2 towers, I think the extended edition is perfect.
Well, we haven't watched the extended edition of Two Towers in probably about 15 years.
Yes.
So we're going to watch that tonight. From what I remember, I preferred the extended of Two Towers. Plus, Two Towers is just generally the best Lord of the Rings movie. You like Fellowship, I get it, I understand it, I appreciate it. I think, in some ways, I agree with you. But in others, I say, no, you're completely wrong, you absolute Dumbo.
The thing is, I would say the same about the 2 towers, which I think is absolutely perfect. Because when you actually can have this go-between of, I think this is really good, but I like this one more. But sometimes, depending on the day, I think vice versa. That tells you that you created a really great product with what they did, right?
And oftentimes, the second part of a trilogy is the worst. But with Lord of the Rings, it seems like Two Towers is the best. It seems like with Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back was the best. With the original trilogy. With the prequels, Attack of the Clones is definitely not the best.
It's not the best.
And then you get to the sequels, and I will tell you, The Last Jedi, absolute doo-doo. We won't go into it. We won't get into it, okay? But we're just telling you, Star Wars is dead to us. Lord of the Rings, not, but then we haven't seen The Rings of Power, so we can't really say yes or no either way, because it might be great, but I ain't giving it the time, so it's a question mark for us. But we've got to do Fact of the Day, page number 197, fact number
2.
Sir Charles Isham, a vegetarian spiritualist, introduced garden gnomes to England in 1847. He hoped that they would attract real gnomes to his garden.
Wait, are you telling me garden gnomes? That's only something from the 1800s here in Britain. We see them everywhere.
You would think they were a lot older than that. They seem very ancient.
Yeah, there's some like ancient magic about them.
It seems very inbuilt in the culture. Like this was old witchy shit.
Old magic, you know? That's really odd to think it's so recent.
1847, that's less than 200 years ago. Maybe they were, like it was a dig at the Irish or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, hey, the Irish and Welsh, these idiots, we just see them as gnomes maybe, you know?
Maybe.
That type of stuff.
I could see that.
It's wrong that people saw them like that, and the Scots, but it's what people saw them as.
It's true.
So you can't change that. At the end of the rainbow, there isn't a pot of gold, there isn't a leprechaun, and you don't magically become a warlord just by finding the pot of gold.
No, you don't. Get it.
I don't know. We just say gibberish and it turns out alright. So that's what we're going with. Nonsense with...
Nonsense.
That's how it goes.